Hello guys, today we are gonna learn how integer numbers are stored in memory, whether it's Java, C, C++, the underlying representation of numbers, integer numbers are same. So let's take with a small example. So for that, let's take a byte integer, which is of 1 byte. So it would be easier for us to uh, analyze it. So 1 byte means 8 bits. So how does it stored in memory? So out of this 8 bits, most significant bit is reserved for sign. Maintain the sign of it, whether it's positive or negative. If it is 0, it's positive. If it is 1, it's negative. Now, positive numbers are stored in their binary representation form, while negative numbers are stored as 2's complement of their corresponding positive numbers. So why that is? Why for negative numbers we have such a difference? We'll come to that in the next slide. And 0 has only one representation, that is positive 0. Now binary representations of few numbers, as you can see, most 8 bit, because I have started the index from 0, that is sign bit, and rightmost bit is the least significant bit, is the most significant bit. Now representation of 0 is positive, it's considered as positive, so sign bit is 0, all other bits are 0. If it is a 5, so 4 plus 1, it's 5, so positive, so sign bit is 0. When it is negative, minus 22, so sign bit is 0, sign bit is 1, and these 3 bits are set, so if you sum them up, it would be 22. Similarly, 127, that is a max that can be stored. So it is 0 for sign bit and all other bits are 1. Similarly, minus 127, sign bit is 1 and all other bits are 1. Similarly, for minus 0, sign bit is 1, all other bits are 0. Remember, this is binary representation only. This is not how it is stored. Positive numbers are stored as is, as binary, what their binary representation is. But for negative numbers, it's going to be different. We'll come to that in the next slide. We'll first see how 2's complement is performed. Now in 2's complement, if you see, right, the ranges for byte, short, int and long, if you see, the positive is 127 while the negative is one more, 128. So same for all. It is, if you see, for all numbers, negative has one more extra number that it can store in negative side than what it can store in positive side. Okay, so let's try to understand what could be the 2's complement of 22. I mean, then we'll understand 2's complement. This is how it is stored. When it is 2's complement of 22 stored, it would actually minus 222. So that's what I'm saying, storage representation of minus 22. So binary representation of 22 is this. Okay, when you add 1, it became 1's complement. Okay, sorry, it's 1's complement is just the reverse of each of the bits. If you can see, all the bits are reversed. Now add 1 to make it 2's complement, adding 1. Now we get this number. This is 2's complement, and this is how the number 22 is stored. Instead of 1 here and rest of the numbers as is. No, this is how it is stored. Now it is easy for compiler. Also, compiler just check the MSB. If it is 0, then it understands it's a positive number and it simply convert this into its decimal form. If it is 1, it understands it is saved as 2's complement and it converts it back to a decimal number. Now what is the where the differences come. Let's take the storage representation of minus 0. So I'm sorry, it should be minus 0. So binary representation of 0 is this: all numbers are 0, positive. When I take 1's complement, all the bits become 1. Now adding 1 to LSB, least significant bit. Now if you see, it is exceeding the range. It is exceeding the range of 8 bits, right? So that's why we cannot have, in 2's complement method, we cannot have a negative 0 representation. Okay, we can have only 1 0, that is positive 0, and that's very advantageous. That's the reason for negative numbers 2's complement has been chosen. Now with this removal of minus 0, we got an extra room for one number, because 128 numbers can be stored in each side, right? From positive side, it's from 0 to 127. From 0, but negative side, it is from minus 1 to minus 128. So how is it? Let's get to that. If you see storage representation of minus 127, so binary representation of positive number 127 is this. Then I take 1's complement, then I add 1 to its least significant bit. I get the 2's complement of 127, that is the storage representation of minus 127. Now if you see, we still have a room for one more number. If we make this bit 0, so that would become the 2's complement representation of minus 128. So that is the storage representation of minus 128. And that's how all the numbers, all the negative numbers, if you see, it is one more than the positive number. Now if I see the table again, positive numbers are stored as before, but whenever it is negative number, they are getting stored in this 2's complement method. Whenever it's negative number, you see here also it's negative number. So additionally, earlier it has minus 0. So minus 0 cannot be represented in 2's complement method. So we got that room for minus 128. So this is how it is stored, 1 and all other zeros. So I hope you like this video, and it uh, gives you some understanding of how numbers are stored. This is important, especially while doing different kind of bitwise operations, right? Like shift operations. So there it's going to be really crucial, because in many interviews there are several questions which are asked on shift operators. Different programs where shift operators are used. Additionally, in embedded system, where we deal a lot of things in terms of bit instead of byte, especially while transferring data from one device to another. In embedded system, we don't spend an entire integer to just hold one number. We, because there are many things which are just flags. With it is either 1 or 0. So as you can see, right, an integer is a 32-bit number. So we can send almost 20 to 25 different flags through it. I have seen it myself while I was in the development of one embedded system, that is for one aircraft. There are different sensors status, whether they are up or down, whether on 0 or 1, and few additional bits are required just to have checksum whether the data got corrupted or not. So that's all. Thank you for watching.